Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Sami from the Biostatistics group, the Biostatistics Learning Group. And today we'll start by chapter 1 of the book, The Bare Essentials. We will go through the exercises as it's practical. So first, for the following studies, indicate which of the following variables are dependent, independent, or neither. ASA aspirin is compared against placebo to see if it leads to a reduction in coronary events. So the independent variable is what, and what's the dependent variable? So here stating that the independent variable is drug, ASA or placebo, and the dependent variable is the number of coronary events. So to make things easier, just how the two interact is that the independent variable leads to the dependent variable. Independent means it's independent, and dependent means that it is dependent on the independent. So that is how it goes. And B, the intention for cholesterol level is to be independent variable. So let's see what they're saying there. The relationship between hypocholesterolemia and cancer, the independent variable, and what's the dependent. So the intention that was for cholesterol level to be the independent and cancer as the dependent. So cholesterol level might lead to some cancer. So probability of cancer is dependent on the triglyceride level. As a matter of fact, it's more probable that the relationship goes the other way, that carcinoma may reduce the cholesterol level. So anytime you simply look at the relationship between two variables, it is difficult to categorically state which is the independent and what is the dependent. Why is that? Because it's dependent on the researcher. The researcher is the one who sets up these. Number 3, we know that members of religious group have the ban drugs, alcohol, smoking, meat, sex may lead to dancing, living longer than the rest of us poor mortals, but it is worth it. How do they compare with us on a total quality of life? What's the dependent, what's the independent variable? I don't like this example, but let's just solve it. Again, they probably mean for occupation to be the independent variable here. And coronary heart disease, the dependent variable. However, because I'm sorry, I went to number D. So number C is actually saying that the independent is the group membership and the dependent is the quality of life score. Again, the example is not very, explainable, but that's what it is. Number D, or one study Just a moment here. One study, a real one this time, found that bus drivers had higher morbidity rates of coronary disease than did conductors. It leads to a reduction in coronary events. So again, they probably mean for the occupation to be the independent variable and coronary heart disease as the dependent. However, because it hasn't been shown that a causal link exists between the two, in fact, body mass may explain both coronary morbidity as well as opting for a more sedentary job. We can't really call one the independent, one the other dependent variable. So this is like we can categorize it as they mentioned in the question that we could say neither. It's not dependent, it's not independent. Comes number two, which of the following variables are discrete and which are continuous? I first want to know, to explain to you what they mean by discrete, what they mean by continuous. So discrete is non-continuous. This is a dictionary definition, and continuous is any value, and continuous is measured. Whereas discrete, it's not any value, it is a specific value, and it's counted, not measured. So let's give another thing, that continuous, let me write that down for you. Continuous, it starts with the letter C, right? So it doesn't match with the C description, it matched with the other description. So continuous C, it matched with the other description, so it's measured. Whereas discrete matches with C, so it's counted. So continuous start with the letter C, but it doesn't match with the thing that's starting with the C. So it's measured. Discrete, it matches with the C, so it is counted. So let's give an example here. Continuous. We'll give two examples of continuous. For example, we can measure the temperature. So the temperature is 37.9, and that's in Celsius. In Fahrenheit, it's 102.4. So these are measured values. These are continuous values. So the other example of continuous is time. So time, so we're not going to be literary here that it's measured, no, but time is continuous and not discrete. For example, the time now is 14:15. So it is not a discrete value as per se. Discrete examples, this is a specific value. Discrete is specific value. Okay, and it's counted. So number of cats, 7 cats. Another example of discrete is the number of sessions, for example, 7 sessions. All right, so now we go through the examples here. State which of the following variables are discrete and which are continuous. A, the number of hair transplant sessions undergone in the past year. So the number of sessions, it's a discrete variable. It's something we can count. as seven number of sessions and so forth. B, the time since the last patient was grateful for what they did. So time is a continuous variable. Why? Because as we mentioned that it can be 14, 15. It is not a specific value like number of cats or number of sessions. Now go to number C. You anticipated before taxes income the year after you graduate. So money is discrete because it's not divisible beyond cents. All right. D, you anticipated after taxes income in the same year. D, because your after taxes income will be 0, it doesn't apply. Letter E, the amount of weight you put in the last year. So this is something specific, right? It's amount. So weight is continuous. So here it's we can say, for example, so I'm sorry for that. It's not a specific value because it's like not like number of cats or not like number of sessions. It's variable. It's like the height. It's like the time. For example, this will be a 30 kg 0.5. So it's not a very specific value. It has a point to it. F, the number of hairs you've lost in the same time. So the number of hairs is discrete. You can't say, for example, I lost 5.5 hairs. So, it would be 5, just 5. Alrighty. So thank you. We'll continue in the next session.